Quick before this video starts, I just want to say if you need any mentoring on eBay stealth accounts, add the link in the description if you want to do that, where I'll mentor you on everything, different plans as you can see here. And also if you're looking for eBay dropshipping winning product research, I can guarantee you success with that. Also go to the link in the description. Thank you very much. On to the video. Hey guys, sorry for being gone for such a long time, 3 months, 4 months. I'm back now, ready on the YouTube grind. I've been very busy. I've had a few holidays as well, so I've just not had the time to record, but I'm back now more than ever. I'm going to be aiming for daily uploads as I really do enjoy this. I've just been really busy. Anyway, today's video is I'm going to be answering questions because it's one of my biggest videos, and this is how I got, I'm not big but it's at all, but this is how I got to, I built my channel up quite fast, and this is how I built it up from this video here, how to create eBay stealth accounts, as that's what most people are looking for. So I just thought I'd answer a few questions here that are on this video, because there's a lot of questions here and I think it would just help everyone out with me answering all these questions in the comments that I do have. 275 comments, all your questions. Even if I've answered them already, I think it would be good for me to make a video around it and explain it to everyone, as it will help everyone out. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. Oh, and also I'm really sorry about the brightness back there. I just can't do anything. I've closed the blinds, but it's still coming through. What can you do about UK summer? So the first question I'd answer is this one here, which is he's asking if you can create an eBay stealth account on a phone, because he's more of a thrift seller, like you'll buy and resell clothes, buy and resell phones, stuff like that, I'm assuming, and he wants to do it on a phone. As in this video I said you need to do it on an RDP, or at least have a dedicated IP, which you can purchase from like IP Burger, and have it on a separate browser that you didn't use before, completely clean just for eBay. But this guy, he wants to do it on a phone, and I'm sure many of you out there want to do it on a phone, as it's just a lot easier, because you'll get the notifications of sales, messages, things like that. It's just easier. So what I would say about this is you can do it on a phone. One, it's going to be a bit more difficult. There's two ways of going about this. First way is not the best way, and I wouldn't recommend it, but it is something you can do if you really do want to do it on a phone, but I wouldn't really say you'll do it on a phone. It's called Android emulator, so you could just download that on your PC or your laptop, whatever it is, and then you'd have an Android emulator. You'd be able to use Android on your laptop, for example, and you'd have the eBay app there. But I'm assuming you want this so you can get the notifications to your actual phone. Only way you're going to be able to do this, I'm sorry to tell you, is you're going to have to either have a jailbreak where you'll be able to reset the MAC address, which is, I don't know if you can still do that, but you could do that back in like iOS 6 days. If you can still do that, that's one thing you can do. The second is you just have to buy a new phone if you want to do it on a new phone, because eBay, the app itself, it will stick to your MAC address, which is basically what identifies each device you have. So I'll see, oh, he's had an eBay account on that device before and it's been suspended. He opens another one, gets suspended straight away. So you can't be doing that. So what you have to do is, you want to do it on a phone. So let's say you've got your brand new phone now. You've got a brand new phone. It can be a second phone just for eBay dropshipping. You buy like an iPhone 8, £100, whatever it is. Have that. What you can do then is you buy the dedicated IP. You can set that up. Just Google how to put dedicated IP on my phone, iOS or Android, whichever phone you buy. Cheaper if you bought an Android, much cheaper. And then you would follow the steps in this video the same, and you have an eBay stealth account on your phone. But yeah, that is the only option for that, really. Anyway, to the next one. Right, so this one I find it quite funny, just because of this guy's comment. I can't say his name. It definitely is a unique name. But what the problem they have is, their names. They're worried about creating an eBay stealth account because their name is so unique. It doesn't matter. eBay don't know. Remember, it's a bot that goes through all the security. It's not a person manually reviewing, checking how many people had that name in the world. They're not checking. They're not checking that. That's not something they're checking. It's literally a bot, a security bot. Call it. They literally monitor everything to do with bank account, IP, device, address, date of birth, stuff like that. Even if you're this person, the only person in the world that has this name, and you still put the same date of birth, it's fine. There's no problem with that. They can't track you from a name and date of birth. Like, it's not fair to be able to ban someone because your name matches the date of birth of someone else who's got suspended. There's other people out there, even not with your specific name. Let's say my name's John Smith. There's other people out there called John Smith with my date of birth, for example, and they're not going to get suspended. That's not something they can do. So that this just isn't something to be worried about. Even if you have a very, very unique name, you're the only person in the world, you're fine as long as different IP, different device, different address, different bank account. They can't block you from a name and a date of birth. That's not something they can block you with. However, if your address, date of birth, and name matches for the last suspended account, then you've got no hope there. But obviously, you can get the new address by either if you have any rental properties, use the rental properties address. If you own a shop, a store, you can use that as your address. Or in the video, as most people won't have either of those two things, you can buy a PO box and use that. Best to use. There's a bit of an update in this method, which I'll do a video on, an eBay self account video update. Certain PO boxes that aren't going to work, because if it says PO box in it, like the one this video does, it won't work anymore. You'll need one which is just an address. Where eBay wouldn't be able to tell it's a PO box. And now, as I've noticed, the bot it searches for PO box, and if it's a PO box, you're going to get suspended. So you can either search that up yourself, or I'll do a completely new dedicated video showing it all off. Comment down below if you want that. But anyway, to the next question. So the next question is he's asking if he can just use a VPN and a different browser instead of having a remote desktop to create the account. Yes and no. You can't use any old VPN. You can't just buy ExpressVPN and you United Kingdom, tap United Kingdom every time you want to log into your VPS, because every time you want to log into your eBay stealth account, because a VPN, you're not going to get the same IP every time you connect. You'll never get the same one more than once. So that's bad for the security of the eBay account, as they'll notice, oh, you're logging in with a VPN every time. What you want for minimum suspension is you want the same IP every single time you log in, because it just looks like, oh, it's my home network. So what you want to do is you want to buy a dedicated IP. I recommend using IP Burger, as I previously said. If you buy an IP, I think they're like $12 a month. Buy a dedicated IP, that's your VPN. Don't just use a VPN, as you're going to get suspended. It won't work. On to the next question. So this is a very interesting question. He's asking if you make a new eBay account, are they going to pick up on items you listed before? For example, if the descriptions, images, and titles are the same, will they detect it? My answer is no, they can't detect it, because you got to remember, many people are using the same photos on their listings. Many people are using the same photos on their listings. So it's just they can't detect stuff from that. Same with descriptions and titles and things like that. It's just something they can't detect. As I previously said, it's all about IP, address, name, date of birth, card, and all of that. If that all links to the last account, you'll get suspended. There's nothing about the items you list or anything of the kind like that. Nothing like that. So no, you're all good there. So this is another really good question from Tony here. He was asking if he can use his smartphone to access the account when he's away from home, because obviously that's going to be very needed. If you only have a PC, for example, you don't have a laptop, you don't bring a laptop everywhere, how are you going to connect to your stealth account? You're just going to lose out on money because you're not going to be able to do your sales. There's a solution to that. It's not a problem. So if you're on iOS, you could download Microsoft Remote Desktop Connection, and you'll be able to connect to the remote desktop that you purchased from Camatera, and you'll be able to use the literal desktop on your iPhone and do all the stuff from there. It's a bit tedious, but at least you can still get stuff done from that. It's just a lot easier that way. So yes, you can still use your eBay Stealth when you're away from home if you're using an RDP. If you have the dedicated IP, what you can do is you can still access it away from home. What you want to do is you want to download a separate browser that you don't use on your iPhone or your Android. For example, Brave browser. I'm sure most of you don't use that. If you have that downloaded and you connect to the dedicated IP you purchased on your phone and you log in on that browser, you can log in that way as well. So both methods, you're all good there. So Kota here is asking, do you need to clear cookies and how do you do it? Yes, you need to clear cookies only if you're creating the account on a browser you already use. But as I said, just make it easy for yourself. Download a completely new browser that you're never going to use apart from for your eBay and do it there, because that will all be clear. You don't have to clear cookies every time you want to log in. Just use separate browsers for each stealth account you have. Which brings me on to a very important thing. You want to download Incogniton. It's a very good program where you can have many different profiles, which means many different browsers on the same browser, if that makes sense. all completely unique identities, so it makes it very, very easy to just have your multiple stealth accounts there. Each one has your own dedicated IP, and it makes it a lot easier. So this is another question here: is it possible to create several RDP connections? Yes, you can get as many RDPs as you want. There's no limit depending on what app you use, but you should be good there. So I've had this question a lot. He wants me to make a USA video for the stealth account, and it is literally the same method, the exact same method, but you need to have the US address and an SSN, a social security number. As I'm not from the US, I don't have a social security number, and also it's a lot harder in the US because obviously each person has their own social security number, and it will be illegal to use someone else's unless you used a family member's, for example. Then it could work fine. But that's the only way you can really do it in the US. That's why I recommend, if you're in the US, you've been suspended before and you're a drop shipper, learn the UK market. Start drop shipping in the UK market because it's so easy to create stealth accounts in the UK. That's why most of the drop shippers are actually operating in India, which is quite crazy to believe since they're in India. But they're all operating in the UK from another country. You can do the same. So that's what I recommend to you there. So this video is going to be really, really long if I go through every single question here. So if you want me to do a second video to this, like a part 2 to this or whatever, just comment down below and I can do that, as there's so many more questions I have to answer here, but I just can't get them all in one video, or it'll be a really, really boring video. So if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you press that like button. If you've taken any value whatsoever from watching this video, I would really, really appreciate it if you subscribed. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your day.